Hello guys, this is Austin. Welcome to Stir Crazy. No theme tonight, fuck it. Just taking it easy for once. A lot of these have been actually surprisingly heavily scripted, and I decided maybe just slowing it down, having a genuine drink with you guys, and trying to talk from the heart without thinking about it too much beforehand would be good. And I mostly spent the day doing chores, trying to catch up on that stuff. Clearly I planned this really well with all the background noise, and yeah, it's fine though. Hey, that's a no. See, we got cats in this video doing crazy things unscripted. I have a feeling it's gonna be good. Happy accidents, you know, right? Something like that. Let me check my angle real quick. Looks good enough to me. Probably some Batman shit going on. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so yeah, just thought I'd sit and make a list today. Oh, I'm not touching your face. Just think about stuff. So, thought I left, there it is. So, something that's been on my mind has been missing ingredients. And, you know, making a list is a good thing because it's two things in one. You get to procrastinate, but you get to plan, right? You're not really being productive, but you're getting ready to get productive, right? So that's a good way to remember things too. So remembering things, yeah. Clearly I'm great at that. But okay, I think it's about what I guess I'm trying to get at here is appreciating the things that we don't have right now, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. And you know, appreciating what we have right now, and remembering our friends, appreciating our friends, that sort of stuff. Give them some calls. Here, remember friends. So a lot of this stuff that I'm gonna list on here is like, it's gonna verge dangerously on teenage soup for the chicken soul, and like everything I needed to learn I learned in kindergarten, but like right now is the time to be thinking about some of that simple shit that we take for granted, right? So remember friends, put that on there. Help others, we'll put that on there too. So thought I'd talk about some stuff. Oh, I better get the water boiling because I'm gonna make some simple syrup. What was it? La Habara de la Idiota that we learned the other day. So this is going to be me getting idiotically sappy. Not in Espanol this time though. So yeah, remember your friends. That doesn't necessarily mean to socialize, and I've been guilty of it, and I'm starting to think that maybe some of the stuff I'm overreacting to, maybe some stuff I'm not doing enough of. But call your friends, use technology, figure out ways to be social while also distant. This show is kind of about that. I'm really glad to be seeing like other people doing videos. I think we're all inspiring each other. A lot of the inspiration for this show comes from you guys and what you tell me, the feedback. So help others. And so today, I won't use any names, but I went to visit some friends, and they do maple syruping every year, and they were out of rubbing alcohol, and they need rubbing alcohol. So I thought, great, we'll bring some rubbing alcohol to them. Sue and I went and brought them rubbing alcohol, and they gave us a bunch of syrup to distribute amongst us and friends, and it's really thoughtful of them. And they took me along, and I went in years past to make syrup with them, and it was a beautiful experience, and one that I wouldn't trade. I'm sad I got to miss out this year, but you know what? Them's the breaks. we're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices. And we followed good protocols, good social distancing. I don't think we really ever got within 6 feet of each other, but I could see the horror in one of our friends' faces when I mentioned that I had been sick. It's been over a week since I've had any symptoms. I'm feeling great, but I was in public without a mask, and maybe I shouldn't have been. It's making me think that, you know, clearly people aren't taking this seriously enough. I really did get suited up the other day, and I looked like Marty McFly when he crashes into the Twin Pines or Lone Pines mall homestead or whatever, you know, when he's pretending to be Darth Vader. I had my respirator on, I had glasses on, I had my coveralls on, I had my hood up. Like, I look like a crazy person, but maybe I won't look like a crazy person as this all pans out. I don't know. But the point is, remember your friends and help others, and I guess, do your best, right? So I thought I was doing my best by maintaining social distance, but, you know, maybe I could do better. And if you don't always do your best, you're just competing against yourself. And hey, there's something. Well, do what you love. And if you can't do what you love right now, like all you people missing out on your pickup basketball games or whatever, well, maybe it's time to work on your horse game versus yourself, because when you're trying to do your best, your only competition is yourself, and when your only competition is yourself, you're always a winner, right? I don't know. Anyway, do what you love. My dad used to say to me, do what you love and the money will follow. I don't know about that second part, but you know what? Do it. And, you know, even if you're not making money doing what you love, you should do what you love because you love it. And that's what I've tried to do with the little bit of art that I put out. A nice waft from the fucking megadump. Be positive. Be brave. Be prepared. There's one. That's the Scout motto. Be prepared. Scouting was it was a very positive experience for me. And Scout law. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. I don't know about that last one so much, but that's why I didn't make Eagle. And if you are turning to religion to save you right now, that's not the way to be looking. You should be looking for good advice from people who are studying this and working hard at it. If you think this shit's going to be over by Easter, like Trump, you can go hide some eggs up your ass, because it's not just going to go away like a miracle. It's going to take a lot of hard work. We've got maybe a year or more until a vaccine is ready. People, I'm sure, are devoting countless hours to developing drugs for this stuff. Who knows what's going to be effective in fighting it, other than very basic, simple things. Fucking wash your hands. Cover your face. Shout out to Mike. He does Cerebral Agitation Comics. He pointed out that, much to my amusement, if you took out the dwarf hand washing scene from Snow White, it'd be like 15 minutes shorter. There is a really extended portion of that movie devoted to dwarf hand washing, and it's pretty amusing to see. There's like a friggin'... Oh, and then so here, so what did I say? Wash your hands, cover your face, right? Do your best at that. And maybe your best is, you know, with masks. If you can't get store-bought, homemade is fine, right? It's like the reverse of Ina Garten. And this stuff all falls mostly under self-care. but it's also helping others, because really a mask is a twofold thing. Who knows if they're incredibly effective or not, but we should always help, even if it's a little bit, because we're gonna have to pull together to do this. Sorry if this is coming off fucking schmaltzy, but I need a pep talk. Maybe you guys do too, I don't know. Hopefully there's some funny stuff in here at least. Okay, so talking to our friends that I was talking about earlier, that was horrified by me not wearing a mask, it was because her husband, my other friend, who makes the syrup, is healing up from some rather major health issues, and you know, he could be, he is more at risk for this. He is older. I'm thinking of you. So he suggested this today. We had some syrup he made last year that had some crystals that formed at the bottom because it maybe got a little overboiled or whatever, so maybe I overdid it. So this will be the closest I get to pouring one out for the homies that we're remembering tonight, because basically I just want to dissolve that sugar and maybe we'll get some simple syrup out of this. We'll see. Here's another one. Well, it falls under being thrifty with the scouts and all that. Make do. Take pride in your work. These are simple things. Do your chores, you know. Oh God, I'm gonna sound like Jordan Peterson or something. I think I said 3 things. I can't remember what the third one is. Oh, take pride in your work. That's right. Even, you know, some of this is, sorry this is so disjointed, but I haven't been feeling a huge creative drive lately, but I've been feeling pretty good about leaning into clean living, mostly out of necessity, but if not now, when, right? So I've been trying to exercise. I know, you're shocked, right? I am too. Maybe, oh, fuck it. Maybe this will agitate this. That's right, this is happening. I'll put it down the back of my pants. Ooh. This is for Drew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right. Be easy on yourselves. There's probably another one. But that's 3 more than I did the other day. That falls under self-care, right? And of course, wash your hands, and I'll sanitize this, don't worry. But yes, so help others, some self-care. Oh, here's some self-care. Tonight's sponsor. I'm all over the place, but whatever. It'll make sense in the end, right? We'll have a list. CeraVe Healing Ointment. This reminds me of back in school, we read Of Mice and Men. That's a lot, but my hands are fucked up from all the dishes and washing and all that. I bet yours are too. CeraVe is pretty good. It says it's not greasy on the tube. It says it on the tube. So, back in school, remember reading Of Mice and Men? Maybe you didn't. Now would be a perfect time to read a book that you missed out on. But I was kind of weirdly obsessed with that book, partly because of like dirty details, like Curly keeping his hand in a glove full of Vaseline to keep it soft for his wife. Well, I'm just going to keep it soft for me and for my wife, even though she probably won't be within 6 feet of him. But yeah, I don't know. Take care of yourself, because if you don't, who else is going to do it, right? Your mom, Shout out to my mom. She's a wonderful lady. Okay, and that brings us to tonight's drink. Not even going to make a recipe, but we're going to talk about it because we're remembering friends and family. Just pretend that family's on there. But yeah, remember your friends, remember your family, help others, all that shit. But thinking about my grandpa tonight, Fran. I guess that wasn't a lot. Make a Franhattan. Got some missing ingredients, but don't we all these days? I think I just saw a mosquito. What the fuck? Great, do I already have standing water around here? Probably. Alright, so I'm going to put on a glove. Yes, I still have gloves. No, I don't think these would be fine for a medical professional. I spilled a bunch of Goo Gone all over the whole box of them, so they're kind of orange scented and a little weird. Probably not the best. I'm not hoarding medical supplies. If you're hoarding shit, come on. But also, if you're going to the fucking store every day, that is not social distancing, or every other day. The other day when I went and shopped, got supplies enough for 2 weeks-ish. Now I understand if, you know, you don't have, I don't know, maybe you don't get paid in a way that allows you to go to the store and stock up for 2 weeks. I mean, okay, but all those of you that, you know, have that privilege to stock up, do it without hoarding, and don't go to the store every day. You're endangering the people that work there every day. And yeah, that's another thing that a friend of mine pointed out, and it made me give pause to myself. Brianne, hi. You know, she's like, social distancing is not socializing 6 feet apart, it's sheltering at home. And it made me think about, like, okay, yeah, I've gone out and seen a couple of people now, mostly in order to trade stuff for things that neither of us have, or the other has that the other doesn't have, you know what I'm saying? Bartering. Rather than going to the store, but it gave me, you know, maybe social distancing isn't enough. Maybe we should all be wearing masks in public. And I mean, look at history. There were times when people were like all wearing masks here in the US, and you could probably get into legal trouble for not wearing a mask. And this is nothing new to America. It is new in a lot of ways. I'm going to put my phone charger on because hopefully I haven't killed this thing yet. I've got a light in here too in case it gets too dark. There we go. Plug you in. So see how much planning went into this one. So I don't know. Yeah, like, don't just sit 6 feet away from your friends and hang out. Like, that's not what this is about. And all this, like, it's another thing. All this, like, you honk, we drink. Yeah, just stay inside. Really? I mean, I'm in my backyard. Nobody's around. I think I'm doing okay. You should all get outside a little bit, but, you know, wear a mask. Maybe you might run into somebody you're not expecting to, or, I don't know. Just do it. I guess I'm outside right now and I'm not wearing a mask. Oh, here. So, yeah, I was talking about homemade and is fine, right? Covering mucous membranes. Oh, I forgot my fabric. I was gonna, you know, put a clean piece of fabric over my face. I'm not gonna worry about it because nobody's around right now, but I was thinking, you know, inject a little levity. This wouldn't scare the shit out of people at the store, right? Just put this on, you know, with a bandana on underneath. That wouldn't get me accidentally shot by a cop. No way. Well, we'll see if I get around to wearing this one. I've been looking for a purpose for this mask for some time. We'll see if now's the time. So, anyway. Sorry, I derive a lot of my comedy from the goofy shit that I've got laying around because I'm too lazy to write it. And I've got a lot of goofy shit laying around, as you well know. So, the Franhattan. All over the place, folks. Oh yeah, wear some glasses, protect your eyes. Aerosol in the air. I don't know, be safe. So, this was officially a Franhattan, this would be Crown Royal, right? Just use your imagination. Get creative. I'll put that on the list. Get creative. So, yeah, Crown Royal. So, like, I'm not measuring tonight. I usually measure, but that's just for show. Or if you want to see what the right proportions are. So yeah, use your imagination. It's not Crown Royal. Tastes even better than Crown Royal. And I don't think I even am using my imagination. So, yeah, get creative. Put that on there. So, with me, usually just drink some whiskey, but we're going to make a Franhattan. So we got our whiskey in there. Get creative. And so this kind of falls under remember. Yeah. Oh, lucky fucking duck. Add family. Remember friends and family. So that's what I'm doing tonight. Fuck out of here, Cerave. Butterfingers. Probably help if I had a flat yard. Anyway, Crown Royal will put you down here. Our sponsor, Crown Royal. Ooh, that lid on there, boy. Alright, so my grandpa was making it. Okay, we got our sweet vermouth. This was unplanned. Get the shirt in here. A little bit of sweet vermouth. How much? I don't know, just as much as you want. My grandpa told me how to make this when we were in Kentucky for a family's wedding. Whose wedding, I don't remember. I was like 6, and all I could remember was one. I had my tie the whole time. So, I remember him teaching me this recipe, having me make it for him. In a hotel room in Kentucky, and they had to like rush to get booze because it was like a Sunday night, and you could only get liquor until sundown back then in like fucking 1989 or whatever it was. So more missing ingredients. I'm nursing this here maraschino cherry grenadine juice syrup, whatever. He'd always put a generous splash of that in there, and he always wanted 2 cherries in there. And usually, if it was at home at cocktail hour, he'd be making a shaker of these and splitting it between himself and my grandmother. Alright, live and let live, I guess, right? Even if they are mosquitoes. That should probably make it on the list. I don't know, I filled up the list. Fuck it. So, yeah, good job, Eker. Last but not least, don't forget water. That's probably, gotta drink water, right? Even if it's on or in a drink. But he would always add a splash of water. Now, is this officially how you make a Manhattan? Probably not. But this was how I was instructed to by my grandfather. With love and remembrance, just how you like it. Cheers. Not bad. A little heavy on the grenadine. Whatever. If you're making it yourself, mix as you go. A little heavy on the grenadine, eh? Whoops. So, but yeah, okay, everybody has that friend that like drinks a glass of water for every booze drink they have, right? Well, maybe there's something to that. Here's another, yeah, this is another thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, just because some advice is some shit that you don't want to hear doesn't mean you shouldn't listen. Sometimes you got to learn stuff the hard way, but if we really paid attention in kindergarten, which I know none of us really did, I still have problems with analog clocks, but that's just me. You're watching an idiot, so I don't know. What? Water. Yeah, here's one that I should always help strangers, right? But you know, draw the line at getting in a car with them. That's when I had to learn the hard way. I'll save that story for maybe another time, or maybe not, because it's pretty fucking embarrassing. But simultaneously, as much as I was pretty much nearly kidnapped and then re-kidnapped, it was a quick thinking of a complete stranger that gave me a good excuse to get out of a bad situation, as a guy at the Verizon store. But long story short, help strangers. Don't get in cars with them. Yeah. I was talking about things not getting back to normal, and things are going to be missing ingredients, and how this stuff isn't over, not by a long shot. And I wanted to add be vigilant to the list, because we're going to all get tired of this shit after a while. I know I'm pretty fucking tired of it a lot anyway. That's not a sentence. I'm pretty fucking tired of it already, and this is just going to get worse. But be vigilant, and that's something we can. A lot of these things are qualities I saw in my grandpa Fran. A lot of people would talk to him about, talk about him that way, I think, too. But be brave, be vigilant, be prepared. Here's a fun story about Fran I'll tell. Fucking hell. There's one for the dead homies. Stupid greasy ass CeraVe. So there's a worm squirming. I think I just splashed whiskey on him. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, my bad. Enjoy. Okay, so he would tell this story. He was on the fire department. I was going to show a picture from my mom that she drew of him, but I forgot it inside. I'm not going to go run inside. I mean, would this be an episode of Stir Crazy without me running off and getting something? We'll see. I'm not going to go get it. So anyway, this is not necessarily the story I was going to tell, but there was a fellow at a construction site. He got called out as part of the fire department. There was like a cave-in in something that they were excavating, and this guy was buried up to his waist in dirt and was about to possibly get further caved in upon. And my quick thinking grandfather threw him a garden hose and a wheelbarrow that they happened to have on site. He said, get under the wheelbarrow. So the guy ducked under the wheelbarrow, and he was able to get air from the garden hose. So the cave-in happened. The guy was protected, and they were able to dig him out, even though it was kind of, you know, probably a scary session of being buried alive. But he could breathe. He remained calm. Thanks to my prepared grandpa, they were able to dig him out and save his life. And this guy would apparently, just a big guy, would pick up my grandpa at the bar every time that he saw him. And I guess, knowing my grandpa, he liked to go to the bar quite a lot, so he probably got picked up, not picked up that way. Like, he would give him a bear hug and lift him up because he saved his life. And I don't know how much my grandfather liked that, but you know what? Whatever. Be kind to other people. Be kind to strangers. Don't get in cars with them. Be nice to them. Be patient. Especially with old people and young people. It's got to be hard for both of them right now, especially. Everybody, really. We're all in this together, and that's maybe one of the weird silver linings of this, is that we are all experiencing something crazy together. And if we all work together, there's going to be a lot of tragedy, and there's more coming, and I know this, and I'm sorry, but if we all pull together, we can minimize that stuff and maybe come out of this stronger. So, okay, I think I was talking about Pawpaw Festival. It reminds me of, like, you know, being nice to strangers and remembering our friends and family. But somebody that we met at the Pawpaw Festival, didn't know a thing about him, just got talking to him at the cook-off, a fellow named John Maxon. I guess I can use his last name. He's not gonna be worried about me infringing on his privacy because he's deceased. And he was just a prince of a guy. He made Pawpaw wine, and he would enter it into the Pawpaw cook-off at the Pawpaw Festival. And that's probably something I predict we're going to have to do without this year. I don't know for a fact. Just my luck, too, because I think my Pawpaws are going to have flowers this year, which I'm exceptionally excited about. Maybe I'll even show you guys before it gets too dark. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Can I drink and work the camera? We'll find out. Yeah, I know. It's worth screaming about, isn't it? So, I don't know. I can't focus very well. Story of my life. Can I get that? Those are all little flower buds. See them? No, you don't see them. Little bulbous guys are going to be flowers. Trees are looking good, though. Here, we'll just do a wide shot. But yeah, Pawpaw Festival, where strangers become your friends eventually, and you run into nice people, and then we lose those people, and we're going to lose people before all this is over. It's people that we love, not just, you know, people that we are aware of. It's going to sting really bad, and fuck, we might be one of them. Who knows? But just thinking about John today, he was a prince of a man. We got to know him. We ended up camping near him every year because we both, Sue and I, and John and his friend Keith, would camp there every year, and they'd bring their wine and enter it in the competition. He was just such a nice fellow. He'd always show up and give us like a huge box of bottles of wine to take home. Here's one. I'm not going to crack it tonight, but I'm definitely going to be getting into this stuff before this is all over. Some elder wine. Here's John's initials. JM. See that? Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. So, funny story about John. He was so kind, always brought wines. He made them pretty sweet. We'd always get pretty drunk at the campsite hanging out with him. We're going to miss that. I already miss it, but I think we're just going to miss the whole thing this year. I just have a feeling. But we were all getting drunk and having fun, and we just mixed up random ingredients. We had amaretto and some apple cider that turned hard, and we had some pawpaw pulp, and we mixed it up, and it was kind of weird but kind of delicious. I mean, it had like floating bits of pulp in it. We called it camp juice because it was kind of gross looking, and it's sort of, that sounded like a gross name, and we placed third with it. Now, I don't know if it was because of the cachet of the name or not, or on the merit of the recipe, but we outranked his wine, which I feel bad about, but he was such a good sport about it and really took making the drink seriously. So it was just a fun time, and he was a good sport and a good soul, and we miss him dearly. And he's an example of just somebody who was absolutely very kind to people he barely knew. He took us on a pawpaw picking adventure at his property that was one of the coolest, most magical experiences in nature that I've been. It was like in southeastern Ohio. I forget where he called home exactly, but there were just wild pawpaws everywhere. They were perfectly ripe. The timing was great. We came back with like a big old grocery bag worth of them, and they were good. Not cultivars, but they were good. And it was magical. It was fucking magical. And so there's another one, plant a garden. There's something that my Grandpa Fran did every year. And it's something that's going to be really important this year. And I see Manu and I see Heather doing this. I saw Mateo doing this. This is the stuff that's going to count for you and your friends and your neighbors. We did a garden last year. Here, I'll show a garden bed that we've got going. We had this one going last year. We're going to have another one where the baby pawpaws are in the ground. That's there. So this is going to be our garden this year. Not much to look at. We've got a couple of planter boxes way out back there too. I'm going to get a load of dirt delivered and we're going to fill that up, and there's going to be another bed where that was. But last year we planted a garden. We used compost that we make at home. It's not great compost, but it's a place to put food scraps. It isn't the garbage, and you know, every little bit helps, right? Well, it's not hurting anything, so why not? But we had a squash plant that we didn't plant, just come up right about there, and it got huge, and it put out these giant delicata looking squashes. Some mystery squash, basically. Nothing that we planted. I don't even remember eating anything that looked remotely like it. It was some product of cross-pollination. Nature's magic. If you want to see magic, plant a garden. And you know, last year those squashes were kind of like bland and but they are still in our basement looking fresh. I've cooked one. I put some love and care into cooking it, and you know what? It was actually pretty good, and I'm super thankful that it shot up magically. So plant a garden. It'll be good for you. Be a little activity outside, away from people. You'll have some fresh food. You know, I know it's a privilege to have a garden and to be able to stay home and stuff like this. Don't think I'm not recognizing my privilege here. But exercise your privilege. Use it to help other people that clearly don't have it. You know? Pull together. That's America, right? Even if we choose to be governed by an idiot, we don't have to act like one. You know? We can help each other at the local level, and there's some dirty fucking pool going on, but maybe the silver lining will be that gets exposed too. I don't know. It's getting dark. And not just speaking about the light, but, you know, you can shine a light on darkness, right? Oh, hey, this is getting poetic now. I must be drinking. You can shine a light on darkness, right? Maybe the mosquitoes will go over there, or at least away from us. This one's getting long in the tooth, I guess. If you're still watching, well, good on ya. Appreciate ya.